In my last video I said that I had, during part of my bad luck, broken the filter on the front of the camera on the Phantom 3. That's the filter that was in this thing. So this is a little metal part. As I said at the time, I didn't realise that the little ring was in the wrong place, and I managed to break it whilst trying to clean it. So I bought one of these. So this is off of Amazon. It's a spare one. It's a UV filter. It looks exactly the same except for it says MCUV around the side of it, but it fits and looks exactly the same. Even if you haven't broken your filter like I did, I would still recommend getting one of these as a spare because it allows you to do something else. I've just received from America, from a company called phantomfilters.com, some ND filters. Now these things are very, very thin plastic. They're just thin plastic ones. They give you an ND2, ND4, ND8 and ND16, and these help with the smoothness of the filming of the camera. And I haven't tried that yet, and I've stuck one in now, so I've got an ND4 in there. I will try and see what that does, to see if it gives a better, smoother image, is what it's supposed to do. But you put them in on top of your normal filter, so you take your normal filter off, you leave the glass in, you take the ring out, you put the plastic ND filter in, and then put the ring back in, and then screw this back onto the camera. So that's why it's a good idea to have a spare camera filter such as this, because it doesn't look any different than the original, and it'll give you the option of then having the ND filter on one, and if you want to take the ND filter off and put the other filter back on, you have that option of putting the other filter back on. I might change some of the colour profiles in the camera and see what they do before I start going ahead with things like polarizers and stuff like that. Drones is a bit of fun, it's a bit of light-heartedness, it's something to take away some of the misery from some of the videos I do, and it's also something to get me out. One of the things I need to do is get out. Now, mental illness is a very bad thing, as you've explained before. Mental illness affects the stuff up here, your anxiety, depression, and it can make you do things, or stupid things, that affect your life and affect your whole future, which again you've seen in my previous videos. Mental illness aside, the other issue for me at the moment obviously is heartache. Terrible, terrible heartache, terrible pain I feel in here every day. And that's a different type of feeling. It's not completely a feeling up here in your head. In your head you're thinking of your memories, all the things you had planned, still remember all the good stuff, all the stuff you spoke about, all the promises you made to each other, all of that sort of stuff. And that's when this comes in. Heartache's a terrible thing. Heartache's much worse than anything else that I think I've ever felt. It's not controlled by your brain. So this is an uncontrollable feeling. Now, it's not about being lonely. We're not lonely at all. I mean, as a human race, we aren't lonely. There's people outside. You go outside, you talk to somebody. If you go to work, you meet people. You have family. You have people you can talk to. So you're not lonely in that respect. You can go out and do stuff. I can go out, take the kids out. I can be sitting playing with the kids, and I can be happy in my mind and my well-being. Sit and talk to my mum, have conversations with people, but I still have a burning pain in here. So you don't want to replace the feelings in here with somebody else, because the feelings in here are only for one very special person. That person's the once in a lifetime opportunity, the one person you meet that you know for the rest of your life you could make happy, or you would be happy with. You have ups and downs, people do, people overcome ups and downs. Now I know some people have massive rows, people have fights, there are people that are just clearly not right for each other, people that have arguments. So there are people that don't get on, and there are people that have reasons for splitting up. You know, you might have completely ruined everything with a conversation or something you said, something that came from here, something you did, something you wrote, something you sent, you don't know. When you meet the person that you truly know is your future, soulmates, as you say, there's a lot is said about people's soulmates. You know, do you ever meet a soulmate? Is it true? Do people have soulmates? I believe it is. And I think I realised it from the very start, but my problem was, as I said, it's been up here, the head stuff. So you've not just lost that person, you've lost what's in here, what's yourself. If it's here and you feel it here truly, then it's got to be right. It's got to be fate, it's got to be true. It is true. If it was just here, people fall in love through their minds. People have relationships based on other things. If it's based here, you've got to believe in it. I suppose the new thing you can compare it to is a missing person. You know, you have years together with somebody, you've known each other a long time, you know, and then over a period of a couple of days or one night, or you change, you say the wrong thing, you do something wrong. It's totally not the other person's fault. They're totally not to blame for any of it whatsoever. But all of a sudden, literally overnight, that person that's been there for part of your life for such a long time, gone in an instant. You know, you didn't get to say goodbye, you didn't get to explain, you don't get to say sorry. Those are things that are up here. So your mind deals with all of those thoughts. They don't take away the pain and the feeling in here. The heartache is still that that person is no longer there anymore and has been there for such a time. That person is still there, but not physically here. You can't physically see that person anywhere in any way. It will stay in here forever, no matter what. Maybe there's a future, maybe there isn't. Regardless, you're not going to replace that feeling here. So, and that's really, I suppose, the easiest way to try and describe it. I suppose as much as you're apart and as however distance there is between you, and if you can't talk to each other or there's no way of contacting that person, you still keep in your own heart, in your mind, that the promises you made you will keep. You will not do certain things. You won't go and do this, you won't go and do that. You will always keep your love for that person, and you will always promise to be there. Should that person ever need them again, however far it is in the future, that your love would still be there for them. It's not, none of this is about missing out on a future. You don't miss on what you could have had. Your future would have been whatever your future was going to be with that person. You may have had plans, you might have had dreams, and all the things you wanted to do and the things that you might have, you know, wanted to do quite soon are irrelevant. They don't matter because it's the person in here that you wanted to be with. You didn't want a future for the sake of having a future. You wanted that person, and with that person, whatever future that would be, whatever it be. So if you was living in cardboard boxes together on the streets, or living in a mansion on an island or whatever, wherever you were with that person. Definitely in my case, that's definitely my view of everything, is that regardless of whatever, as long as you're together, it didn't matter. You enjoy life together, you struggle together, but you still love each other, so therefore it doesn't matter what you're doing. A lot of people don't like being called perfect. When we say perfect, not every single body in the world is perfect, but if that's the person, that one person, your soulmate or special person, the one person in your life that you see as perfect, you fell in love with them for what they are, then to you they are perfect in every single way. There's nothing about them that you would want to change. You may have said over time, you'd say silly little things, but you say to somebody, you know, there's a saying, it goes, you love somebody warts and all. The warts don't really exist. They're here, but in reality they don't mean anything. They're of no relevance whatsoever, because the person you fell in love with, you fell in love with them as they are. You shouldn't want to change that person. That's the worst thing you can do. You fell in love with a person as they are, and you'll take them as they are. And the reality is, in here, you know that. If you have any problems up here, it doesn't always come across that way. And sometimes you will say things and do things that you really don't mean, and you really don't know how that affects that person, because in your mind that person in every single way is perfect. There isn't a single hair on that person's body that you don't love, a single part of that person that you don't want to stay with for the rest of your life. And you would take them however they are, whatever they are, for the rest of your life. That's how you know it's somebody very special, and it's somebody that is completely irreplaceable. You don't meet perfect person more than once in your life. You're not going to go and find somebody else like it, and you wouldn't want to. You know, nobody else is going to replace that person. Luckily for me, I have quite an understanding family, and you know, whatever's happened in the past, my family is always supportive of me, and whatever, they know what makes me happy. I know what makes me happy. So whatever happens for me in the future, whether it's just waiting for an eternity or miracles happen, whatever, my family welcome into my life the person that I love so much and the person that is within my heart. Whatever makes in here happy, it's got to be good for you. Anything else doesn't matter. As I said, there is not a single thing I don't like and I didn't like about my special person. My perfect woman is perfect to me in every single way. I didn't show it often enough. I didn't say it often enough. I would find silly little things that were, as I said, completely irrelevant. You know, at the end of the day, she's beautiful, she's absolutely fantastic looking, lovely in every way, inside and outside. Sometimes you don't show it when you should. You know it in here, and that's what you should always listen to. Listen to your heart over your head. Always. You'll be there just in case. What will be, will be. I'm not lonely in some respects. I have colleagues, and I'm not going to be lonely as such.